Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, still ailed and with a questionable voice, throat, chest, insert the many woes, but this is a balls deep of a shmup for PC called Crimzon Clover World Ignition. I'm not playing on my stick. I tried this game last night on my stick and just to test to make sure that it worked before I did this, and today I completely forgot to set it up, so we're just going to go with a standard controller. But that's not a problem, guys, because I didn't actually like how the stick felt on this particular game. I didn't like the movement of the craft. But when we begin, you can pick between boost, game changes based on your skill, how long can you hold out. So that is an adaptive difficulty. That one is the original game mode. That one is the more difficult game mode, and then there's time attack at the bottom, so we'll go with this one. I don't like being timed on these menus, even though I appreciate it's a very old school shmup thing to do. So I picked type 1, and then I tried type 2, then I tried type 3, and all of them don't control how I like shmup vehicles to control, so we're going to go with type 1. And we're going to, it shows you a big tutorial at the beginning. We're going to skip it though, because it doesn't let you play. Do I not have start mapped to this controller? Oh, there we go. But the standard, it reminds me a lot of Doronpachi Daifuketsu, because there's a lot of hyper usage in this. It seems to all be about getting these locks that build this brake meter. So you've got your standard shot, which is just this, as you can see. It's quite big. And then you've got this lock button, which I don't know where it is. There we go, on this controller. It's B on this controller, so I'm going to have to claw a little bit to get this going. And essentially, when you hold B, it slows your craft down, it focuses your shot, and you can do these lock-ons like this, and you can queue up those points and build towards this break, which once again, I'm not entirely sure how it works on this. And you'll notice it starts off very modest. It's crazy with what's going on the screen, and if you're going for score, you probably won't play like this, because I'm certain that it's probably more tasteful use of the lock. But you do move a little bit slower when you hold the lock-on button, so you can use that as a focus to make your craft feel a little bit better. This feels a lot better actually on the analogs of this controller than it does on my stick, because I have this feeling from cave shooters of how they're meant to feel. How do I set this off? Is it that? Yeah, this is the break mode, so I don't know what you're meant to do with this, other than maybe cash in and try and get as many stuff as you can, maybe? I don't know. It's crazy. It looks fantastic though, doesn't it? It looks really nice, really pretty, lots of stuff happening. If you can stay on top of the screen, you can stay on top of the enemies. There's not too much bullets to dodge at the moment, but it'll get there, don't you worry. This is only the first level. These games escalate very quickly. Speaking of. But I have this feeling of how shmup should feel, and it's essentially cave, because they're my favourite type, and they have a very distinct feel to them, how fast your ship moves when you're in normal fire, how fast it moves when you're in focus fire, and if it's different to that, it throws my brain off, because it's what I've calibrated my brain and my stick to, because I've been trying to learn shmups on a stick now, you see, because that's how they're kind of meant to be played, I do feel. So this game feels a bit weird to me, but it still feels really, really fun, and I believe that shmups deserve more attention, because a lot of their influence is felt today because they were that. Let's do this again. See if this makes. Oh, it's the boss, isn't it? I've just fucked that up. Can I save it? Does it save while I'm not shooting? That would be amazing. No, it didn't, but it's okay. But a lot of shmup design is very simplistic, and it's easy to take it for granted and look down on it, but it's helped so many mechanics in gaming. And I really, 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 really enjoy a good shmup. Even if I'm not that great at them, I still enjoy them. And I think that's the sign of a truly, truly fun genre, if you can have enjoyment even if you're not too great with them. My problem comes from pattern memorization. As you boys know, boys and girls, my short-term memory is really bad. And I don't remember shit unless I do it a lot, so it may... No, that wasn't so good. It means that I have to do it, you know, ad nauseum, until I get it all programmed. And a lot of the paths that you'll take in a shmup such as this have to be learned, because you can't react all the time. Sometimes it's too much. the movement just, it really throws me off. There we go. Well, we died once, which is not so bad. We got through. We did okay. Wasn't the worst performance. It's running at 60 if you're wondering. It's available on games, GOG or whatever they call it, that one where you don't need Steam, so you don't have to have Steam. You can probably get it on Steam as well. There will be 5 levels, almost guaranteed. Every level will have a boss. And as you saw earlier, there is additional difficulties and things. Can I do that with the trigger, maybe? I would remap the controls if I were to play this properly. But as I was saying before I got, let's do the fun mode, before I got completely interrupted, should be using that when you get into a bad situation, so you can cancel bullets on screen and get yourself back into a strong position. Ooh, this is a bit more like it. Yeah, definitely getting a little bit more crazy, and I'm in trouble. I'm not. So when they get to the bottom of the screen, they stop shooting, which is quite the pleasantry for a shmup. They're not always so kind. Look at this, kicking off. It's going to be very difficult for me to express my thoughts here, guys, because these games are very visceral. For anybody who is complaining that games have no gameplay in them anymore, play shmup. You can get into shmups, all it is gameplay, all it is reflex, all it is skill. Can we do this? There we go. Yeah, that's definitely how you want to be using that. But this is my second credit on this game. I used one credit with the stick to test see if it was working, and I'm using one now to show you this, and I'm doing quite well, which just goes to show you don't need to have, you know, oh, that was lucky. How am I alive? I don't know why I'm alive, but I'll take it. Whoa! It's kicking off. I don't really like how the ship looks either, and the relation to the hitbox. If you're wondering, the hitbox is tiny. You see that little dot on my guy? That's what the bullets have to touch. That's the reason why all of this is possible. You might be watching this thinking, my god, you're a Jedi. That couldn't be further from the truth. I have a pixel of a hitbox, and when your hitbox is this small, it enables delusions of grandeur and things that just are not capable of doing in other shmups. But that's why I love bullet hell kind of shooters, because I find them to be incredibly fun. Let's do this, try and finish him off. Break mode. I don't know if it's best to do the spread shot or the charge shot. No idea. But look, like, this ticks everything you could want from this. Oh wow, no, I couldn't stop it with the beam. That sucked. Well, my fault. Should have kept on top. Wasn't on top. Got bummed. But it does everything you could want from this kind of game, and it looked like it was quite cheap on GOG, which was nice. My only criticism, as I've mentioned, is I don't particularly like this style of game's movement. Oh, there we go. That's it. I should have used the brake thing. I wasn't paying attention. But as you can see, that's the second level. There's only 5 levels. You'll beat this game in 20 minutes if you credit feed to the end, which is what I'm not going to do. That's not a problem, guys. Trust me. Replay value is something that these games have in spades if you can get into what they're all about. Because at the beginning, it becomes about how do you get through the missions, how do you survive, learning to move, learning to fight, learning what to kill, learning where to go. Then once you get good at survival, you'll start looking into the scoring, and the scoring is when these games truly come alive. So if you're looking for some interesting gameplay, if you're looking for a shoot 'em up, this is one that will run on probably a lot of PCs. It runs on my PC, for Christ's sake, at 60. You know, it's not too expensive. It's compatible with controllers on PC. You can use mouse and keyboard. You can probably even use mouse. You can use arcade sticks. I did as well. And it's just an interesting way of keeping the genre alive, because it doesn't get the love it deserves. Shmups are so good if you can get into them, but they're such a very particular type of game. And the best part is they're difficult. They do not ever concede. They will always force you to be a better player. And you will only see the end of a shmup on one credit if you're good enough. You'll never see it any other way. And you can't say that about many games, so that's why they'll always have a place in my heart, and I'll always promote them on this channel. So thank you for watching, and you take care now.